Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the cosmic shadows to unpack the birth of a terrifying new god. We're going to look at the ancient primal power that fueled his rise and how it forged a completely new dark order in the cosmos. Let's get into it.
So let's start at the end, shall we? Here he is, the cosmic Nosferatu, sitting on a throne of what is, for all intents and purposes, absolute power. He's not just some bad guy, he's a brand new deity, a true peer to his rivals, the Twilight Monarch and the Morning Star. For him, this isn't war. No, this is a great game played between equals.
But that begs a huge question, right? How does a being just show up with this level of reality-bending power? Where in the universe did it come from, and more importantly, why? What was the real motivation behind this insane transformation?
To find that answer, we can't actually look at the king himself. Nope, we have to look at the one who designed his throne, the true architect behind this whole new dark age.
And this is her, Horologia Malice. You have to understand, she is literally resentment given a physical form, born from pure bitterness toward her sisters and their newfound power. She couldn't unmake them, so she did the next best thing. She decided to create a power so fundamental, so absolute, that their idea of freedom would just become meaningless.
See, this was never about ruling. It was about negation. And to do that, she needed a foundation for her power that was older, way more primal than anything her sisters had ever touched. A power that existed long before their ideas about self-creation were even a thing.
And that search for a truly primal foundation, well, it took her to the deepest, darkest part of original Draculon, to a forgotten tomb that held the raw materials for her masterpiece of cosmic revenge.
She found it, the tomb of the First World. Now, this wasn't just any old crypt. This was a relic from what's called the Gospel of Instinct, a time before logic, before creation stories, when the universe was ruled by nothing but pure, raw, divine instinct.
And think about what that means. This era wasn't defined by creation, by the word, but by the primal cry. It was a challenge that shaped reality through sheer extremity. This was a universe forged in the fires of instinctual conflict, not by some grand design.
And inside this tomb, right at the heart of this gospel of instinct, she found him, the primordial Nosferatu. But he wasn't a king, he wasn't even a monster. He was just a forgotten, dried-up husk, a direct physical piece of that ancient savage age.
Okay, so you found a desiccated husk. What now? How do you breathe life, let alone godhood, into a forgotten echo of pure instinct? Well, the way she did it is, frankly, horrifying.
Horologia Malice performed what you can only really call a dark apotheosis. She didn't just wake him up, no. She took her own soul, her very essence of pure resentment, and shattered it into 7 pieces to basically become his new heart. And with the very first of those 7 shards of pure malice lodged inside him, the ancient thing began to stir. He was no longer just a vessel for primal instinct. Now he was a vessel for her new, terrible purpose. His revival itself was an act of cosmic vengeance.
So now you're a god king, animated by cosmic malice. The revived Nosferatu knew he couldn't rule alone. To match his sister's sovereignty, he was going to need his own court of equals.
So he reached into what you could call the cosmic recycle bin. All the failed drafts, the discarded scripts, the forgotten timelines of the multiverse. And from all that chaos, he pulled out what reality considered errors and gave them a new divine purpose as his counsel.
This shows off his new powers perfectly. First, he has metaphysical dominion. Basically, his will is so powerful, it literally rewrites the source code of existence. Then, he's got cosmic necromancy. He uses the other 6 shards of Horologia Malice's soul to bind his new court to his very heartbeat, making them extensions of his own will.
And man, what a court it is. His unholy cabinet is made up of reborn figures from history and myth. He's got the brute strength of a vampire Frankenstein's monster, the cosmic cold of a vampire Yeti, and even the dark folklore of Krampus on his side.
But here's the really brilliant part. His court isn't just about raw power. It's designed to challenge his rivals on every single level you can imagine. He's got Vlad the Impaler for cosmic strategy, a vampiric Merlin for magical warfare, and he even has the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche to wage a war of ideas.
And that brings us full circle. We're back where we started, but now we understand the terrifying foundation of this new cosmic order, and we can see the monumental stakes of this great game.
This isn't just a battle anymore. It's a full-blown philosophical war. On one side, you have the sisters, who represent self-authorship, this idea that you can create your own meaning. And on the other, you have the Nosferatu and his court, representing cosmic inevitability, the powerful pull of ancient primal forces that were here long before any of us.
And so we end on this incredible image. The Nosferatu on his throne, raising a goblet to his sisters across the cosmic rift. The fight over history, over the past, that's over. Now, they're fighting for the very definition of existence itself. And that is a challenge truly worthy of gods.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a reality with no author, no grand plan, what actually defines existence? Is it the individual's will to forge their own destiny from nothing? Or is it the ancient primal instinct that's been lurking in the dark since the very beginning?